into the top lane for Pain Gaming.
We certainly do. It's not impossible. It has been done, but we don't want to see the Tyrannecton. That's all I'm going to say as we head into the picks and bans. Take it away, 4-4 Solari. Let's see what these teams have for us.
So the Tristana and the LeBlanc are in fact banned out, and there's the Kai'Sa. Man, did we ever nail it.
I believe Kai'Sa is not for both of them the second pick, but at least for B-Boy, she is actually the second most played champion in the split. So this time it is on the other side of the map. This is for Fluxo. This is a strong pick. I'm really surprised to see her sleeping all the way through the bans, but you need to build up around Kai'Sa quite a lot. And it depends on how do you want to play this Kai'Sa. Do you want to play with a lot of poke from the distance? Do you want to play her as an all-in? Depending on what we will see drafting further for Fluxo, we will understand what exactly sort of Kai'Sa we have on our hands.
Yeah, we'll see what the rest of the draft dictates this champion to be. You want to mix your sources of damage. If they have the Tristana still available, then that opens up things like an AP Kai'Sa, right, to be a little more viable damage-wise. Gives you a quote-unquote double marksman, but not really. The Ahri was locked in pretty much immediately, but after a little bit of waiting, we are going to get the Sejuani from Karaoke. And this is what I mean, that Karaoke is more, you know, he is a facilitator jungler. He is intelligent, he plays patient, he plays kind of low risk, but we've started to see a little bit more aggression from him in this early game Pain that we have been waiting to see all year. They've been such a late game play for scaling team, kind of their whole, the last 3 years with this iteration of the Pain Gaming roster, but the last few days they have been playing out of their minds. Rakan locked in for Jojo.
Oh. That is one of the, maybe not the strongest combination with Kai'Sa, but the flashiest one and the most fun to watch, because Rakan is an all-in champion. He can do whatever you want from him, and the best part about him is that he is viable not just in team fights where he absolutely shines with the ultimate, but in the laning phase too. And I would love to see the team trying to accelerate this Rakan-Kai'Sa combination on the board, or maybe rotate Rakan somewhere else, because maybe not necessarily to the mid lane, because this Azir ban, not ban, sorry, but pick is not about winning the lane, it's about sustaining him as much as possible all the way to the late game. But Rakan can always be rotated somewhere else, somewhere to the jungle, for example, if you want to be fighting for objectives, if you just want to have skirmishes with the enemy. This is where your Rakan absolutely shines.
The Azir locked in for House. Usually he's had it banned away against him, but because of the gravity that this man draws in draft, he drew the Tristana ban, the LeBlanc ban, and that left the Azir open all the way down to B3 as Dinketo opted for the Ahri. He wanted, I mean, he's been known for his Azir in the past, but he talked about it in an interview that he likes, you know, he loved playing the Azir when Azir still had that really oppressive laning phase. Jax locked in for Wiser, and now we've got support bans on the side of Fluxo and 2 jungle bans on the side of Pain Gaming.
This is only the second Jax in this split for Visor. He hasn't really been playing this champion, which is surprising, but to be honest, he has been playing so many different champions, he hasn't really stopped on anything whatsoever throughout the split, and it tells you about the versatility of the player, right? It tells you that he is able to play absolutely whatever the team needs from him.
Yeah, he's got the Gnar in his back pocket, even as that has fallen out of favor. Renekton. We haven't seen Ornn out of him, which I think is for the best. Wiser is playing on a heater right now. Yeah, the Jax isn't something we've seen out of him, but in splits past, when it was a little more prevalent, we have seen it out of him. I remember there was a quadra kill game for him in Game 5 against Laudo, I want to say 2 playoffs ago when they met in the upper bracket in an epic 5-game series. Aphelios locked in. This is something that you called out, Solari, in the pregame, that there was going to be high priority for. And even though it took until the 4th or 5th pick, with Xayah off the table and Kai'Sa off the table, they lock in Aphelios for B-Boy.
And I'm quite happy to see it, even though there was Xayah ban. I'm surprised to see that there was no Aphelios ban, maybe even instead of that Xayah, but that is a comfort pick right there. That is a good pick in general to whatever the team is drafting already. The only thing right now is there is not too much range for full Pain Gaming, but they're going to add in maybe Milio. I would actually love the hover of Milio there, because it is going to slightly solve the problem of not too much range available for Pain, because if you look at the other side of the map, there is Azir and there is Kai'Sa already, especially if it's going to be AP Kai'Sa, a lot of long-range poke available for them. That is going to be very devastating to be right before the fights even start.
Lee Sin locked in here as well for Desamis, and now the Lulu for Pro Delta. Now this I did not see coming. The meta has shifted completely to engage supports. I cannot remember the last time we saw Lulu.
It was quite a couple of patches ago, actually. Yes, we have seen a lot of Aphelios Lulu back then, and Lulu was undoubtedly the best support for Aphelios. But now, is Lulu even viable anymore? Because I can see the idea of her here, because there is a lot of dive available for Fluxo. You have Lee Sin, you have Kai'Sa, you have Rakan, you have even Xante, who are going to try to dive into the enemies and who can get very up close with Aphelios. And if this happens, Lulu is going to be the perfect champion to be on his side to save him out of this situation. But other than that, let's see how she feels in the game.
Trajan, let's get you in here real quick, brother. You ban out a Blitzcrank, so what does Pro Delta do? Well, of course, we whip out the Lulu.
Man, I love this draft. I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is a greatest hits compilation from both sides. I'm gonna be real honest here. Bronze, Kai'Sa, House, Azir, my word, Jojo on the Rakan. These are such high performers for Fluxo. And then they brought back the old classic Asante for Tay, and the Dasamis Lee Sin throws a massive spanner in the works. Then for Pain, Karaoke and Ari mid-jungle duo, a massive hit for them. Wiser, you touched on it. The blast from the past from previous splits. And then the old Aphelios Lulu back from the start of the split as well. I think this draft is sensationally interesting. I don't know if the Lee Sin was the call, right? Maybe a Wukong would have given me more confidence, but I can say at least I'm highly intrigued, and I think our match of the week is going to deliver in a massive way for it.
Well, I certainly hope so, because the first two games Solari and I got to cast were over in a combined like 45 minutes. That's not even enough for an episode of White Lotus. We had so little time to get stuck into these teams. But Fluxo and Pain, the match of the week. Both these teams coming off shock losses, ready to duke it out for a spot atop the standings. Trajan, thank you so much. Solari and I will take it from here. I adore that Skybox production.
Ooh.
Stop it, you spoil us.
Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. The match of the week getting the treatment that it absolutely deserves. This is going to be a really interesting one, and I really think it's going to last longer than the first two games that we got to cast today, and I can't wait to see how exactly it's going to unravel. But I want to go for a very brief second to the moment that Trajan actually pointed out about this Lee Sin pick, because yes, I agree with the fact that that's a beautiful dance, by the way. I love it. But Wukong might have been more secure here, because it gives you more security going into the team fights. You know exactly what he's going to do. He's pretty tanky by himself, and you don't need to accelerate him to make him work for you. With Lee Sin, it's a completely different story. He's very potent. He's going to do a lot for your team, but you need to get him going. You need to give him the kills. You need to give him the prio in the early game. If he doesn't get the prio, he's going to feel very useless as the game progresses, especially as Fluxo. You want to be going into the late game. Why are we already fighting everywhere? But okay, that's the spirit, I guess. But one thing to quickly finish, if this Lee Sin gets ahead, if he gets early game kills, he's going to be unstoppable. He's going to ruin the game for Pain so much that they are going to be in literal pain.
And this is going to be really interesting, because I don't know which lane you kind of attack, right? Because it's not enough to just sit there and farm and go goose egg Lee Sin, as I like to call him, where he's got 0, 0, 0, all the goose eggs across the board there. You've got to be making things happen. And another thing I look for in Lee Sin is, okay, what were the lethal Lee Sin combos of the past? Redectin, Lee Sin, Lee Sin. Something with reliable crowd control that makes that Sonic Wave effectively point and click, right? You've got to be able to get gank set up for a champion that, like you said, once he's there, does a lot for you. Then, you can see there, it's the first game of the split for Dasamis on the Lee Sin. And Jojo on the Rakan, pocket pick for him. Not really a pocket pick, but like it's a pick that he in the past has looked really good on. 4-1 on it this split. And on the other side, you see, I mean, teams with very good records are going to make these numbers look a little bit inflated, but Tinketo has only lost one game on Ari all year. And yeah, I mean, to wrap up my Lee Sin point, I worry about where exactly he's going to find these early kills, because then towards the late game, you're relying on, you know, a super hyphy insect outplay. And with Pro Delta, maybe the genius R5 Lulu of the century, one polymorph makes Fluxo so sad.
Quite possibly, actually, because the only thought that comes to my mind to try at least to answer your question as to where Lee Sin is going to get the prio and kills is on the bot lane. Yeah. Because Aphelios is very punishable. He is very weak in the early game, especially if you catch him with the wrong guns. He is going to have pretty much no way of getting away from you. But this Lulu and this polymorph, maybe we're going to see her being exactly this is going to be the reason why she's back all of a sudden in the meta, where she has seemingly no place whatsoever. It is against that Lee Sin to make sure that if he tries to apply pressure onto bot lane and onto Aphelios, he is going to find himself in a very nasty spot where he cannot get out anymore.
All the flashes blown by B-Boy. Polymorph hasn't come out just yet. Tempest comes in, crippling strike, a little bit of damage, but B-Boy able to get away. But Summoner spells blown by him. Prodelta holds on to his. That'll be all she wrote.
But this is Aphelios who has nothing anymore. Oh!
Wowie.
Do you see the health bar? What happened on the mid lane? The boys were having some fun apparently, and we missed it all.
Just dudes being dudes in the mid lane.
Exactly. Boys be boys.
Throwing punches, haymakers left and right. And meanwhile, yeah, Tay not having a great time in this lane as the Cassante, keeping even in CS, so knowing his windows and knowing when he has a chance to go back in. But both these laners opting for the biscuits, opting for sustain, as they are having a little, as we say in Portuguese, porradaria generalizada, general punching.
I like it.
We've
Can
got
you
here,
say
yeah.
it again?
Porradaria generalizada. Generalizada. Yeah, generalized punching is what we call that. And that's what we got in both solo lanes. These guys are just beating the snot out of each other.
Actually, yeah, that's very true. They're fighting non-stop everywhere on the lanes. It's not leading to any kills whatsoever, but it's leading to quite some summoner spells burned. And coming back to this point, actually, because Aphelios with no summoners is a huge thing for Fluxo to try to punish him for. He doesn't have any means of escape. Apart from his Lulu, again, who didn't even need to use Polymorph for pretty much anything in the previous fight that we saw on the bot lane. But apart from her, Aphelios, if he's caught, is going to be so punishable. That's why he's trying to stay safe on his lane. That's why there is a lot of attention from his team around him right now. But Lee Sin is not around, so he is safe. And unless his heal is going to come back pretty soon, hopefully before this Lee Sin is going to pay attention to his lane again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You worry about now, okay, Pain realizes we're going to have a lot of attention paid to us right now. Now it comes down to, okay, how well can you manage your wave? And now you see Dinketo having hit level 6. House, I think, still level 5. No, he has just hit level 6. So now he's ready for the fight here. He's got a big game-changing ultimate. The Pain Gaming are first to the Dragon. It's a 4v2. They've got a dungeon damage onto Jojo. The Charm lands. That should be curtains. The Fluxo support is down. First blood over to Dinketo. Karaoke, will he live to tell the tale? He just might. House going all in to try to get the support. Shuriba Shuffle doesn't land onto Karaoke, but it lands onto B-Boy. And so what? It doesn't even matter. Dinketo on the board with his second kill. Pain's got 3, and Desamus might be next on the menu. Yummy, yummy, says Lulu. Get over here. I want Blind Monk for breakfast. He's going to chase him all the way back into his own base. Oh my goodness, almost got the flash Q. Picks very helpful indeed. There's no shot. Desamus is going to go back. Resonating strike. That's the early damage from the Lee Sin. Prodelta got the kill back, but Kaisa there to lead it up. Brunty comes back. Short respawn timers make havoc. And guess what, Solari? The dragon didn't die.
I forgot about the dragon there for a second. No way, it's still alive. Everybody died in the process, but the dragon did not. The dragon technically wins this fight in the end. But I think the real winner here is Prodelta. Support, by the way, getting the kills, but okay, going serious for a second. Dinquendo is the one who has to be the MVP in this particular fight because his Ari is absolutely unleashed and he's not, you know, making the room for anybody on his team. He's straight on going for the kills and dealing the damage, and that's the type of Ari I was talking before the game started. That is what I want to see from him going further into the game. That's what I will probably see.
He makes it look so much fun, right? He plays Ari like you should, this slippery assassin. Desamus going back in here was brave. The polymorph down, and Prodelta says, all right, I'm taking one of you down with me. You suckers opted into this. That was a little greedy from Desamus, especially with Bruncy having just respawned. There's no reason for you to go back in there.
Yes, but it's about dignity, you know? Having support chase you all the way to your base, that kind of hurts a little bit. And it's just a tiny little, it's an enchanter support. She's not even supposed to like deal damage in the early game or possess any real threat to you. So you being chased so far, you're an early game champion, you have to go back. There is no choice for you.
Yeah, is it ego? Is it pride? Some might call it Lee syndrome, right? You hit the Q and you go, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. Exactly. And you're just like, I gotta go. It's just a Lulu. What could she possibly do? Polymorph Q, dead.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong, man?
Oh, man. Yeah, those Yordles, they have a way of ruining people's day. Zooming out a little bit, the lead is at about 2,000 for Pain Gaming. The Dragon didn't go down, but Dinketo with 2 kills, and Prodelta on this Lulu with 2 kills. Again, not ideal, but the fact of the matter is, even if those 2 kills weren't even existing for Prodelta, the fact that you've got 2 kills on the Ahri, and Dinketo, he plays this Ahri like a Chad. I'm looking for him to make an impact. Karaoke point blank. Gartic Basalt in, and the Stream of Shuffle's gonna do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. That is the saddest part. Like, Azir had no flash. But Azir, okay, wait for it.
There goes Desamis. The Lee Syndrome might pull off something beautiful here. Wiser able to ward hop to safety. Tay went all out for it, but will not reap the benefits.
All right, Fluxo trying to get going for them, but they're gonna be caught in there.
Oh, Dinkato. It's not just the TikTok dances that make him so charming. It's that he knows how to land an E on the Ahri, able to bully Desamis out of his own jungle. And now it's just JoJo. He's got to be careful here. That's back off cooldown. The Ahri has a lockdown available. Herald will be taken by Paid Gaming. There's nothing that Fluxo can do to stop him.
Jojo had to turn around because there was Pro Delta around. Come on, you cannot go into Pro Delta anymore. That thing is going to kill everything going his way. But yes, this is the pro for Pain Gaming that they were looking for on the top lane and on the mid lane. They got it, got a kill on the mid lane, shoot away the enemy jungler from the top lane, and now they go for the Herald and they collect the prize as they absolutely should.
Well, finally a neutral objective went down. It's 10 minutes in. We still have not seen anyone try to re-engage on this dragon. But Paid Gaming right now, their early game looking extremely clean. Yes, most of the advantage has been taken by just better team fighting, right? Fluxo tried to collapse 2 from the mid lane, 2 from the support position. They played that first dragon almost like how you see teams play around a Baron at 20 minutes. It's, okay, we're going to hit the Baron, we're going to hit the objective, but really we're waiting for you to show up and we're going to turn, we're going to pounce.
Yes, exactly. We're not gonna even take the dragon in the end, let it stay, but we are going to lure you in and we're going to get an advantage over you by luring you in. I'm just waiting for this dragon to finally be taken, to be honest, because Pain Gaming right now are having very recalls on the bot lane. They're going to come back with the items, probably something completed already for Aphelios. Not yet, but soon. And after that, they can all go to the bot side of the map and finally collect this drake. They have some wards around, so they have a little bit of vision available. Not too deep into the enemy jungle, but at least something around the river, so they can at least see if House decides to move from his lane to the river to help his team out.
The pings are coming down. It might get spicy here in the bottom lane. Again, this dragon's been up for 6 minutes at this point. Brunsy's got to be careful he doesn't step too far forward. Karaoke's got 3 assists on him and a Sunfire cape rushed immediately. The item advantages Solari are so in favor of Paid Gaming, but there's nothing you can do about a numbers advantage with all that stuff in your pocket. Insect Lee Sin kick Desamis and back with a vengeance, forcing the flash and the ult. Oh my goodness! Gets the Sonic Wave 1 into almost another kill on the Lulu, but Paid Gaming will drop the Herald down by.
They have to abandon the dragon though, unless...
Here comes the TP flank. It's a 4v2 for Fluxo. Tay gets locked up immediately. Karaoke has to blow the ultimate, but that is a trade you are absolutely willing to take. And there goes Shelly wailing away on that bottom tower.
A very nice play there on the bot lane. They got a lot out of this turret, and if they keep people on the bot lane right now, they're going to cut through it rather quickly, and this will open them actually a window to go to the Drake, because guess what? The thing is still alive somehow. We have no Dragon Slayers in this game, apparently. Everybody's super pacifist. I kind of like it. I like dragons. They're nice. Why kill them?
Very cool.
Oh, they're starting it. Look at that. Pain. They're finally starting it.
Hey. Wiser getting a whole lot done on the top side as well. My brain told me, like, oh, well, Team A is getting a dragon, therefore it's Team B that's pushing heavily on the other side of the map, right? No, Pain just applying pressure on a couple of different points here.
Yep. Even though they lost one in the process, they still got quite a lot out of this fight that looked pretty unfortunate to them, and I think the most important thing that they got was this teleport out of T, because it allowed Wither to just do whatever the hell he wanted on the top lane. He wanted to push and apply a lot of pressure there, so Pain are still looking pretty strong on the map, despite the shutdown on Ahri. It's just 1 kill that they gave away. 1 kill for Azir is not too much. Azir doesn't really rely on kills. He doesn't scale from kills. He scales from the time itself, even though his item choice is a little questionable. I never look like when people go into this item. I don't see the benefit in it, so to say.
Yeah, the Crown of the Shattered Queen there, I don't really see it either. Maybe you're, you know, protecting yourself from the damage from the Ahri getting picked off, but even Dinketo, he hasn't gone kind of this high damage build. Yes, you get ability power from the mythic passive of the Everfrost, but this is veering into sinful Ahri territory. You've got CDR boots, not flat pen boots. You've got the Everfrost as opposed to the flat pen on the Loons. Dinketo not going to land the charm, and now Karaoke might be in deep trouble. He was counting on Dinketo to hit that charm. Here comes Pro Delta. Wee woo. Shirelia's Lulu has joined the party. Everfrost not going to land. Now Dinketo might be in some trouble, able to dash away from the Shurima shuffle. B-Boy has joined the fight, but he can't find a way in. Lands a Moonlight Vigil and zone 2 members of Fluxo away from the fight, and that will be enough to dissuade what could have been a disaster play for Pain.
It was very close to being a disaster, especially with the Emperor's Divide from Azeroth. If only it hit in Quenif, would have been a very dead Fox, unfortunately, for Pain Gaming. And then the fight could have gone in a completely wrong direction for them, but in the end, it's another fight that they get out of without losing anybody, but without getting anybody as well. So it's a pretty neutral situation for them still. But considering that they're still in the lead, they maintain this gold lead and they make sure it even increases for them. They maintain a lot of pressure everywhere around the map. So far, they're fine, and they're even fine taking fights like this, which are questionable ones, but as long as they don't lose too much, it's okay.
This gold disparity here in the turret plating, excuse me, is not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. They got a lot of value out of the bottom lane tier 1, and the way the Karaoke was able to drop that one down there. But Pain Gaming still very much had an advantage. 3K at this point in the game. It's not game-ending, but it is substantial, and you're seeing it reflected in the items. There's just a slight advantage everywhere across the map for these players for Pain Gaming, and I think especially so because Gruncy has opted into this AP Kaisa, this, I mean, and with the Sork shoes as well. That is really doubling down on this identity, but the point is, Gruncy, if you're opting into that, right now, you're not taking fights. The Kaisa really doesn't do much.
Yes, that is the issue with the AP Kaisa. You really need a lot of time to get her accelerated because she gets the static shift, and yes, the minion clear is there, but the damage is not there. She needs to get to her 3 items to start dealing the actual damage. However, considering that she's against Aphelios, in a normal scenario where nobody is ahead and nobody is behind, it would have been fine because Aphelios gets the same 3-item power spike that he needs to rush to. But this Aphelios is already ahead. He is very nicely ahead, actually, compared to Kaisa. So in this situation, AP Kaisa could suffer.
Oh, man. Cue up the Teriyaki boys because that was a Tokyo Drift ult by Karaoke. Did you see him just drift on Bristle like that? Man.
The man just knows how to do one thing, and he does that thing very well in this game, apparently. Not saying that is the case for all of the game, of course, just in this one. He is doing one thing, he's doing wishoo with the Q into somebody and with the ultimate, and it works out for the majority of the cases. But this time, it also worked, even though no kills in the end, but it's a cleanse out of the Kaisa. And cleanseless Kaisa, considering how much control there is from Pain Gaming, how much engaged possibilities they have, even just with Sejuani and Jax if he decides to join in, and Ahri, of course, that is already more than enough to punish her.
Yeah, the pick potential is pretty high, right? I mean, Karaoke, he is throwing out these glacial prisons kind of left and right. Dinketo and Weiser, like you said, can follow up. We haven't seen anything of Weiser, really of any top laner. The only thing we've seen is Tay with that teleport down to the bottom lane that, like you alluded to earlier, opened up the window for Weiser to get advantage of his zone while Karaoke was down at the bottom, in the bottom lane, getting the dragon. And meanwhile, yeah, we've been at a stalemate kind of ever since, waiting for those big item spikes. I think everyone's kind of waiting for that second item, like you've been saying, Solari. And especially when we do get these big team fights, I'm really looking forward to seeing if Fluxo can do anything about it. Oh man, I thought the Shurima Shuffle was going to come out, but it's Everfrost Charm. Disamis lands the Q onto a caster minion. Much less exciting than onto the Ahri.
But that is a Herald, the inner turret on the top lane. Ooh, that is going to be a very big pay for Fluxo right there. A lot of golden opening up the map so nice, and despite all the efforts from Bitter earlier.
Oh my goodness, Fluxo thought they had the pick on the Dinketo, but Pro Delta and Karaoke are turning the fight around. Hazu and Disamis are way too concerned about this top tower. They do get Shelly off, and they get a Sun Disc raised in the name of Shurima. Praise be unto it. Almost disaster. Pain Gaming, though, getting advantage on the other side. Weiser in the solo lane doing Jax things.
Okay, Weiser's like, hey, I was doing so much on the top lane, but you guys completely ruined it by allowing Shelly on the top lane. You know what? I'm gonna go to the bot lane and do the same thing, and you're not going to ruin anything there this time. And he gets the inner turret, he makes the score of the turrets even between the top lane and the bot lane. It means that Pain Gaming are going to control the Drace if they take this turret on the mid lane down now, but they won't.
And credit to Fluxo, because Pain Gaming looked like they were going to kind of apply these different points of pressure, like an acupuncturist, just dropping one needle in a very precise spot on your back. You feel the pain leaving your body. No, actually pain entering your body, as the metaphor were. Fluxo almost grabbed a kill there. And Dinketo again just returning damage. Flash! How's this to burn a flash?
Man, I am in the choice of house, but today something is not housing for the man. These shuffles, only 1 or 2 so far have been successful. Yeah, is it him making mistakes, or is it Inquendo playing so well around them? Because I have a feeling it's a mixture of both.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm landing, right? Because if you see that opportunity there, oh goodness, Jojo is in the wrong hood. Pro Delta throws out the Shirelli as they retreat and then go forward, almost able to land a pick there. Yeah, to go back to your previous question, Solari, I mean, I think it is kind of both, because I respect it from House that the Azir ult is on a relatively short cooldown, and when you see that, he didn't blow the flash initially, right? QE in, get a kill onto Dinketo, but Dinketo with a quick trigger flash, and we criticized the Everfrost, but it's worked out in a couple of snazzy little counterplays. It's allowed him to land the charms pretty easily.
Man, I'm not criticizing Everfrost itself. I can see how it can work. I'm criticizing whatever the hell else is happening in Dinquendo's inventory right now. What is that Banshee second item on are you afraid of? You are Dinquendo. You're not supposed to be afraid of anybody on this map, yet you decide to go into Banshee. Where is the damage, man?
Tell him, Solari. Get him. Preach.
I hate it so much. Both of these mid laners, I hate with my whole heart what they're building right now. Carry on.
Karaoke might be in some trouble here. Dasam is able to land the decent damage onto him. How's getting the soldiers forward, onward, says your Emperor. They chase Karaoke out of the fight, holds on to his flash. That is a big boy on an even beefier little pig there. Tay in the top lane, he's got his unleashed teleport so he can join the fight at a moment's notice. Baron is the only objective that's going to be there to fight over, as Dinketo lands a charm. But even then, at 20 minutes, neither team really has the damage to take this down, especially not if you're building AP Kai'Sa.
No, not really. No, not even remotely. Neither of them can go into Baron right now, even for a cheeky, sneaky one. Both of them need to be looking into 3-minute Drake that is going to be on the bot side of the map, and that is why we have Tay on the top side right now. Well, we had until Wizard actually showed up there to stop him, because Fluxo right now want to try to do the same thing as Pain. We're doing to them for the whole duration of this game, trying to apply damage and pressure on various parts of the map to make sure they spread the enemy as much as possible, because right now if Pain gather all together, there is no way Fluxo are cutting through them. They still need more time and more items, but if they separate them, they stand a fighting chance.
That's what they're going to be looking to do. With no objective to fight over, we see a lot of tangoing around this bottom river, but in Brazil we like to samba, we don't like to tango. But the dance is being had in the mid lane nonetheless. Yeah, we've reached that stalemate, Solari. No objectives really to fight over. The gold lead has been at about 4,000 for a while now. Dinketo picking a fight with House. The charm lands, a rare miss from the Pain Gaming mid laner. And Karaoke, you saw he was there ready to pounce if Dinketo landed that charm, but instead he'll retreat into his own jungle.
Yeah, it's like blaming Dinquendo. If only that charm landed, he would have been there, and that would have been a kill. It wasn't a kill for anything, because there's still more than a minute and a half until the Drake is going to go up, but it would be still something for Ahri, getting her closer to items that maybe would provide additional damage for her, but who am I to say, right?
What do we know?
Yeah.
Hypothetically, they might provide more damage. I don't know. We're just the voices on your screen. What do we know?
Or in your head.
Or in, I was gonna say it. Dinketo does get the Banshee's Veil popped. Karaoke looking to separate Fluxo. They look like they're fighting this on two fronts. I don't know if they want to be. House looking for an angle. He likes to play that hard engage Azir. He has a knack for finding these windows. The QE flash ult is electric when it comes out from House. He hasn't been able to find it just yet. Brunsey able to use his build to his credit to help knock down that mid-tier 1. And now all of a sudden, Fluxo have a 3-2 lead in terms of the towers.
And this is working so nice for Fluxo right now, especially because look at that on the top lane. The outer turret is still standing for them. They are leading, and that means that they are holding the reins to the Baron pit right now. They're not letting Pain regain the control over it, but maybe Karaoke, what was that?
Almost. With the Arctic Assault into the Glacial Prison combo, Brunsey able to sidestep it, and crucially, no Flash Burned, no Cleanse Burned either.
Ah, look at the man. Look at Jax. He is still on the side lanes. Right now, he's in a very good spot because he has the teleport. So if anything happens at the Baron pit and something is happening at the Baron pit, he can teleport in. He's also providing control around the dragon because it doesn't look like Fluxo really are going to go onto the Baron. They want to get this teleport out of the Visor right now. They want to regroup Pain and maybe even get them away from the dragon so that they can gain back some control over it. Because if you look at the minimap, there is zero vision available for Fluxo on the bot side of the map, and this is not acceptable when there is a third Drake possibility for Pain Gaming.
Yeah, finally, hopefully we'll get a fight when that third Drake is on the map, which is now. The Pain Gaming, like you said, they've stacked their first two. They've claimed 3 of the first 4 neutral objectives, 3 of the first 3, and just the second Herald that went the way of Fluxo. Dinketo getting decent damage onto House there. Crown of the Shattered Queen will be popped. Helps him eat the first combo from Dinketo, but Dinketo, he loves these alcoves. Look at just the way he's positioning, right? He knows his way around the shadows of the game. Sonic Wave lands onto Weiser. But that is not a place that you want to be landing as the Lee Sin. One counter-strike and your book is written.
Oh no, this is why everybody's dancing around so carefully. Look at Karaoke because he has the ultimate available right now, and this means he can go on to Fluxo. Fluxo still are sitting with no vision.
Karaoke in some trouble, gets jumped out of the fight. The prison lands, but only on the outside. The slow lands, excuse me. B-Boy throws out the Moonlight Vigil and gets a little bit of damage. Is able to take House and Brunsey out of this fight. Brunsey with no teleport, House has his, and it looks like Fluxo, just because of that, even though the abilities didn't land, it was enough. These teams are playing very passively, and you see the margins that are dictating whether Fluxo and Pain want to opt into these fights or not.
Do they want to clash on the Baron? Oh no, they're trying to lure Pain Gaming in right now, because there is no way they can actually start it and hope to take it. They want to have a fight with Pain right now, because of the good recalls that they got, but there is no third item on Kai'Sa. She's still not ready to fight, and it's not even going to be Ginsu's on her as a third item. Oh, this looks very risky for them.
Weiser looking for an angle. He just kind of stared JoJo down and just made him run away. Yeah, like you said, Fluxo definitely not playing for the Baron. They were playing for the fight, but couldn't quite find the angles that they wanted. And in response, Pain Gaming, not only do they get that third dragon, they grab themselves the mid-tier 1. Finally, after 25 minutes, we've got 7 kills, the 3 dragons taken very late. Solari, this is not what I was sold, but what it does promise is that these late game team fights are going to be incredibly impactful.
It does look to me like Fluxo are trying to work towards the late game as late as possible because they need much more items still for their carries, for House, for Brunsey, but it's not like Pain Gaming are giving them the time. That's why Fluxo are trying to drag them back and forth on the map, but I'm not sure if they themselves have a clear understanding of how exactly they want to operate Pain Gaming right now, because their 2 attempts on the Baron didn't lead to absolutely anything for Fluxo apart from them losing yet another objective, and that is a pretty big soul. If Pain Gaming take this one, they're going to be much harder for Fluxo to cut through, especially because they don't really have any AD damage. So itemization for Karaoke, for example, is going to be so damn easy going on from now.
Yeah, I mean, Desanis and Tay, you're not worried about the damage from them. JoJo is a Rakan. It's just magic damage, like you were saying. He went for that early Sunfire Cape, but from here on out, yeah, you see the no magic mantle in the inventory. That's going to go into maybe an Abyssal Mask, right, to help out Dinketo a little bit. Maybe the Force of Nature, but I imagine it. I think it'll be that Abyssal Mask. That's what I would do anyway. But then again, I am here just residing as the voice in your head and not playing professional League of Legends. So,
but when your mid laner has items like that, he needs a little bit of help.
Amen, sister.
Thank you.
The lead up to 5,000 now, little by little. Karaoke looking for a flank. He gets it onto JoJo. He's the sacrificial lamb, and now the whole team has to commit. House taken very, very low. He's taken out of the fight. Hasn't popped the ultimate just yet. Desamis looking for an angle to try to get the big Dragon's Rage out. Now Fluxo headed for the hills. They're being chased into the bottom river. Dinketo lands the charm, but Tay goes unstoppable the other way just before it lands. Good buffer from the veteran top laner. Now Pain Gaming retreats into the darkness, and okay, the Kai'Sa's starting to hurt a little bit. Once she closes that mythic, we might be needed to have a different conversation about this champion.
That's going to be Ludens Tempest. That's going to be Kai'Sa that stays away from the danger and deals a lot of damage, but she needs to survive to that first because this Baron is going down, and it's going down rather quickly.
Dinkedo has a death cap. Does he have the teleport? Yes, he does. He's at the bottom of your screen. Pain Gaming taken low by this Baron, but Fluxo, they're not, they're much worse for wear as well. Almost the charm lands onto Tay. Desama's trying to play bodyguard. Wiser looking for a flank. And again, call it the Vi ultimate, the cease and desist put on the fight.
Oh, just on his...
Oh, just kidding. Wiser might be dead here. Gets the counter strike off. Able to flash or able to dodge away. Leap strike will be used defensively. There goes the ward hop. And now B-Boy might have an angle going forward. Fluxo heading for the hills. Wiser, fantastic with the Zanyas. Almost prophetic with the purchase. Decimus being shredded by B-Boy. They've got the CC there onto Tay. One more. There's the stun landing from the Sejuani passive. Decimus and Brunsey hanging out by the skin of their teeth. Tay might be the sacrificial lamb here. Eventually, he does go down. House with the highlight play. No! He gets the Shrimp Shuffle up, but he gets charmed. And Polymorph, they read him like a piano. Solari, double kill for B-Boy.
And finally, the stalemate of the Baron has been resolved, and it is in favor of Pain Gaming because they are going to take it with an abyss advantage. The enemy's jungler is still alive, so maybe there is a slight chance, but look at how quickly this Baron is going down. There is a Pain Gaming. They're not letting this Baron go away, and it was a team effort from Pain Gaming, and that's why everybody's getting the Baron buff. But everybody played so well. Finally, Dinquendo is running with an actual damage item. He has the hat, and it is helping him so much. What would help the team the most is the play right here. When there is a lot of damage coming out of Jackson, then Wiser goes golden and buys himself enough time to jump because his team is already here, and it is good timing from them. B-Boy is in the flank, which is not where Philly is supposed to be, but he is fine because they are the ones chasing the enemies right now. They have the damage. They have all the abilities. They have Ari that is going completely unleashed. House is trying to correct the situation here. If only that was a better shuffle that could have changed the turn of this fight, but the only turn that he takes is dying in the midst of the enemies, and Pain take the Baron, and Pain are so much in lead right now.
Yeah, Brunsey, that is exactly how I feel, brother. Man, Pro Delta with this counter-engaged Lulu, just wild growth, polymorph immediately onto House. The element of surprise was completely taken away from the Fluxo mid laner in that fight. And now the CC lands again. Tay trying to frontline. Desamis lands a Sonic Wave, but Wiser, he's got himself a cheeky angle, counter-strike up, gets a stun onto Tay. Jojo trying to get the CC down. House and Brunsey trying to find a way to the fight. They can't. Moonlight Vigil almost lands from B-Boy, but just like we saw 2 seconds ago, Pain have Fluxo with their tail tucked between their legs, headed back to their base, and they've got first purchase on this Mountain Soul. Wiser, that is a massive, disrespectful amount of damage on the counter-strike. Took a third of the Lee Sin's health. He's 5 levels up, and boy, is he playing like it.
I'm sorry, he's 5 levels up and he has 3 items in his pockets already. He is not getting around, and this is Jack's 17th level. 1 more level, and he doesn't even need 1 more level up. He is just dealing the damage, and he is threading the sidelines right now. Look at that. Is there going to be a fight? He doesn't care because he is on the sidelines. He can get to the base if Fluxo are not quick enough to stop him.
Karaoke frontlining. TP. Coming in here from Dinkedo, or Wiser and Dinkedo here. Now they're looking for the collapse. They were never playing for this Mountain Soul. The dragon isn't important. Even if Fluxo get the dragon, who cares? They're up 3-0. They have a huge lead here. Jojo going in. Oh, that's a huge shutdown. The wild growth is massive, but it's not massive enough. The chain CC from Fluxo able to get the purchase on this. And now Wiser, he might be isolated here. There's the Shurima shuffle we were promised. Solari shutdown for Brunsey. He's big now, and they have purchase on this Soul. And more importantly, they've got a numbers advantage. Karaoke looming over the wall, and a minion got a tower somewhere.
Oh, this is such a good play from Fluxo. Not just because they got the dragon, not just because they got the kills, the 2 kills, which was important, but there is still Baron buff running for Pain Gaming, and they didn't use it whatsoever. All this time that they were dancing around the dragon, the only thing that they did with the Baron buff was having Visor dancing a little bit on the bot lane. All the other time, it was just Fluxo buying time. I was a little bit wrong there. It wasn't Wiser trying, you know, to get something done while the time is ticking. It was Fluxo all the way long. All this time, they had some smart idea in their head, and boy, oh boy, were they good at execution, because those 2 kills that they also managed to pick in this fight were absolutely crucial. There's a very nice shutdown for Lee Sin, so finally the boy is going to get 2 more items, and then finally a kill for the house, finally using that Shurima shuffle to the fullest.
This is the one that we were promised, and I mean, finally Brunsey online. This is where things are starting to get dicey. Pain Gaming still in the lead, still up 4,000. Right, they're down a tower, but up 3 kills, up 4,000 gold, up 2 dragons, and up still about a half item on everybody. But now the Shadow Flame. has come in for House. That Luden's Tempest is done for Brunsey. And I think Solari, that's looking like a Death Cap. Maybe a Horizon focus, but I think it will be a Death Cap that comes in for him. And now, the momentum very much starting to swing, and Pain Gaming seems like they're buckling down, sending every single member to a side lane and trying to really wrench some gold out of this game. House in the side lane doing his thing. He will be met by Weiser. Desamis there for backup.
Is it going to be enough? Because I don't think Weiser is dancing around and kidding around. He really wants to protect this tree because there is still objective bounties for Fluxo. Despite them just winning a very nice fight and a very good dragon, they still are behind. That's why they still have those objective bounties. But this trade is not going to fall into the hands of Fluxo. Pain Gaming still stand relatively strong on the bot lane. They still are pushing it, but right now, a minute and a half. And after that, the things are going to be decided because Pain Gaming won the next Baron. They didn't use pretty much any of the previous one. They need to take another one, and this time they need to be much more clever about how they're going to use the buff and the timer.
Dinketo caught, doesn't even have the Banshee's Veil popped, though. No, just kidding, it did go down there. Had to blow the Everfrost as well. That was a... Yeah.
Very useful Banshee. Sorry, I can't punch a second. At least now he has damaging items. He's going to go into void stuff, and that's better. Okay, fine, I take it.
The Blighted Jewel in the inventory. Everyone on Pain Gaming at about 3.5 items. That Abyssal Mask was completed for Karaoke, as well as the Even Shroud was in his pocket a little bit earlier. That's going to help out Dinketo a lot. We were talking about it earlier, Solari. He needed the help first. He needed the help initially, but now...
Oh, Weiser.
Oh, Weiser gets Insect Kick. Shurima shuffled, sauced, and tossed. Down goes Weiser. Pain Gaming, run for the hills.
Pain Gaming are losing the slack. They're losing the control of this game. What is with their positioning? What is with their vision? They don't see what's happening around. They're walking around the map mindlessly. That actually looked very bad for Bivoy as well for a brief second there because he was on the front all of a sudden. He was the one getting the damage in, but now it's the whole team getting damage in.
Desamis doesn't have the Ward Hop Dragon's Rage available, but he's able to get some damage onto Karaoke, and you see the presence that he's able to create. Baron up in 3, 2, 1 right about now. Rift Hair, or excuse me, the Scuttle Crab is there from Pain Gaming. Obviously, they know exactly what's going on, but they've got a numbers disadvantage. These respawn timers are long. Glacial Prison lands onto House. That's a lot of damage. B-Boy not able to get the full combo that he wanted, though, with the blue gun. Over those autos, hit like a truck. He's going forward. He's got that dog in him. House will survive. Fantastic peel by the support. Jojo just saved House's life, and he might have turned this fight around for Fluxo. Desamis will clean it up. He follows in with the Q2. Dinketo able to get out, but with just a sliver of health. Oh, Weiser is here. No, excuse me. No, that's not Weiser. That is Tay coming back. House in the mid lane. The double TP. Bro Delta is down. Pain Gaming took a fight they couldn't win. Fluxo have strangleholded this game.
Pain, right after the lost Weiser, that was a fight lost for them already in advance before it even started around the Baron. Because they had no ultimates going into this Baron, apart from the Glacial Prison on Sejuani. Other than that, Dinquenda, for example, wasn't already with the ultimate. That wasn't the fight they were supposed to be having.
Now here comes the last second base defense. Wise running interference, but it's still a numbers disadvantage. The stopwatch bought him some time last time, but this time it just delays the inevitable. Dinketo not able to get the meaningful charm down. Tay is all out, and he is dealing a truck ton of damage to help things out. Fluxo have scaled, Solari.
Yes, the time is in. Look at how he needs to recall because that is going to be a hat for him. A hat for Brunson that you mentioned a little bit earlier is there already. That is a lot of poke damage. That is a lot of AP damage coming out of Fluxo. So the time has ticked for them finally, and they're very happy because the scaling is in. And from here on, they're still getting stronger. They still have the room for more equipment in the inventories, and that is starting to get scary for Pain because right now they're about to lose the second dragon to Fluxo.
Yeah, and thank goodness they got those first three, because it would be accelerating it towards the Elder, but these resistances, I mean, that's the thing, right? When you get three dragons kind of taken in your face, the ones that you stack, these little drakes, they hit so much harder. That's going to be a lot of extra resistances, and if they can wrap it up with the Mountain Soul, I have a feeling this game isn't going to go that long, but the gold is dead even, the towers are basically dead even, and you see the gold graph there. It was as much as a 5,000 gold lead at some point before Pain Gaming. Now, down to just a 1,000 gold lead.
This is thanks to Fluxo knowing what to do with their Baron buff, because they got so much out of it compared to the Baron buff that Pain Gaming got a little bit earlier. That is a massive difference between how the teams are operating with the tools that have been granted to them by the flow of the game, and frankly by themselves too. But yes, Fluxo are getting very damn strong right now. This is looking scary for Pain because they are lacking damage. Still surprising, I know. But Brunsey, are you sure you want to be dancing there? That is a little bit unsafe. I think he's fine. I think he's fine, yes. But apart from Vivo, nobody is really cutting through all the health bars that are available for Fluxo, because he has the LDR, he has the Kraken Slayer, cool. But anybody else, apart from that Void Staff finally coming sooner or later for Dinquendo, how are you dealing with those health bars? Because, boy, they're big.
Yeah, and with these Mountain Drakes stacking, they're just going to get bigger and bigger. Tay going just full tank, unapologetic on the Cassandra. Much of his abilities scale with armor and MR, so hey, why the heck not? Wiser, he's got himself that Zanya's. He's made good use of it so far. Looking like a potential game decider here. The soldiers go forward on the command of their Emperor. Shirelius popped, almost Pain pull the trigger. Jinketo looking for that big time charm. Not able to land it though. He's got the stopwatch in the inventory, and that's delaying that Void Staff, Solari.
Yes, he's still not there. He is still not getting to this one more item while Fluxo are pushing it. They have no Baron buff, but because they have started shifting, because they have pretty much everybody here in the bot lane, they are cutting through the enemy's lane so quickly.
Big Shurima shuffle down. Brunsey is on fire. He gets Karaoke, and now with the numbers advantage, you'd like to think that Fluxo could do something about it.
They should be able to. They have to. Come on, this is the opening for them. They have to go in, they have to push in. There is nothing else to do on the map right now other than push into Pain Gaming for Fluxo, and they have all the forces with them. There is a -1 for quite some more time for Pain Gaming. This is a now or never for Fluxo.
The Intofo strikes down Jojo, running interference, but he is taken low and out of the fight. Wiser has to retreat. Still 15 seconds for Karaoke. The Shurima shuffle very much still available for House. I misspoke earlier. But the way that Karaoke repositioned himself, I thought for sure that that was Fluxo's doing, and not the fact that Karaoke just kind of went forward and got obliterated.
I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore. I would love to see it in a very slow motion, though, to decide what exactly happened there. But what is happening right now on the map is really important, because look at the timers on both objectives. They're quite fun. A minute before, right? A minute and 40 before the Drake is going to be up. That is still a sole point for Pain Gaming right now. If they take it, they're going to feel a little bit better going into those fights, because boy, oh boy, this poke from Kai'Sa hits like a truck. But they also need the Baron. They cannot lose the grip of the Baron, because the Baron is going to be an immediate game over for them. Fluxo already have 2 inhibitors down on their base. Pain they must take this Baron, otherwise they lose.
Pain need the Baron, Pain need a miracle fight. That might be what they're looking for. Jinketo playing on the edges of those shadows, just lurking, looking for the charm, but Tay is the one that is forward. If you land the charm onto Tay, that is far from a death sentence. Karaoke, maybe a little too far forward. He's got to be trouble here, able to get the Arctic Assault out. Damage coming out from House. Jojo as well, shifty as ever. 4 items on Brunsey here, 4 items on House. The power is even, the gold is even. One team fight to decide it all, potentially, but Fluxo, like you mentioned, with those 2 downed inhibitors, very much in control here.
Oh yes, the Baron is already up and running. Fluxo. Oh, what is Pro Delta? Are you okay? One more shot and he's going to be dead, but everybody from Pain will be dead right now if they don't go into the Baron immediately. Look at how quickly he's going down.
Charm in, he robbed it! Karaoke, you beauty! Able to steal the Baron and keep Pain's hopes alive!
You man, he does the impossible. He does the miracle for Pain Gaming. They needed a miracle. Maybe not necessarily a miracle fight, but just a miracle as is. And he does it. He gives them another chance to bounce back into the game. This is the second bout, and you cannot waste it, Pain. You have to go in. You have to do something on the map. A dragon might just be that one of the some things you need to achieve right now.
Solari, you said the objective timers were spicy, and indeed that brings us to Soul Point again for Pain Gaming. Wiser with the Wit's End and a little MR on the Merc Shreds as well. Not taking as much brutality from the Kai'Sa poke. Desamas and Wiser pass each other like ships in the night. Desamas is looking for the hyphy play. He has found Wiser, or rather has Wiser found him. Able to ward hop away. Shifty moves from the Fluxo jungler. Dinketo has found his way into the fight. He's got the Void Staff. He's got the stopwatch. He's got all the tools he needs to set Pain up for success on the back of a Baron take to keep their game alive. Dragon is taken low. There's the Shurima Shuffle. Karaoke taking it to the backline, but he's got a stopwatch as well. Stopwatch gaming on the Rift. Brunzy taken very, very low. The Dragon is a secondary objective here. Able to take it is B-Boy. It's Mountain Zol for Pain Gaming, and more crucially, they've got 4 kills. Jojo hunted down. Pain bring it back, snatching a potential victory from the jaws of absolute obscurity.
They did not disappoint. They were given a miracle by their jungler, and he was like, please don't waste this miracle. And Pay Gaming said, okay, we will not. We will go in. We will somehow take the Baron, the Dragon, thanks to our AD carry. We will win the fight that seemed impossible for us to win. We're going to win it with an ace and with a triple kill for our top laner, and we are going to secure the game against all odds with 2 inhibitors.